Yo, 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 what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the countdown of the NFL Best to Wear Jersey. My name is Mike. I host a podcast called Sports and the Real Shit. If you've This is your first time here, glad you joined me. First of all, secondly, catch the previous episodes. We've been counting down the best players who have worn jerseys 30 through 1 in NFL history. And by NFL history, I mean according to what I've seen. All right, we're not going back to the leather helmet days, just from what I've seen. And usually that's late 80s all the way up to current day. We've had a good time, but now we're at number 16. And some think number 16 is a GOAT's number. Is it really? Let's talk about it. Let's go. Joseph Montana, for those who are closer to him. I'm just playing. Joe Montana, 16 years in the league, played 15 years. One of them, he was injured, so it doesn't really count. So really 15 years played. 13 in San Francisco, 2 in KC. Again, he was injured in 91 where Steve Young tried to take his spot. 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, 2-time MVP in the 89 and 90 seasons. Second in MVP voting just his third year in the league, which was crazy. 4-time Super Bowl champ. 82, 85, 89, and 90, 3-time Super Bowl MVP. And that's what we know Joe Montana for. We know him as a winner. The stats are there, but they're not, crazy eye-popping stats that people are like, wow, He doesn't have the crazy arm talent throwing the ball 100 yards down the field. He's not outrunning dudes and making defenses look foolish. He was just efficient, precise, and won ball games. And as a quarterback, that's what you need. So 4-time Super Bowl champ, just elite in the playoffs, just masterful. 1989 Offensive Player of the Year with 26 touchdowns and 8 picks. If you put those numbers up today, people are going to look at you sideways like, why didn't you do more? I mean, led the NFL in touchdowns in 17. If you throw 17 touchdowns today, you're getting put to the bench. That's how you have to compare. You have to view the generations and the eras. The guy who's considered the GOAT once threw 17 touchdowns in a season, and that led the league. Think about that before you compare eras and players from different eras and calling who's GOAT and who's not. In 87, he threw 31 touchdowns, which is actually pretty good for that time period and now. Led the NFL in completion percentage 5 times. So people are going to say, hey, it was a West Coast offense, short passes. 5 times leading the NFL in completion percentage when people kind of know what's coming is outrageous. Yeah, he played with Jerry Rice. If he played with Randy Moss, that would have been something else. Yeah, he played with Jerry Rice, but damn it, those passes had to get there. And they absolutely did, especially when it mattered. So 5 times leading the NFL in completion percentage. Retired with 40,551 yards, 273 touchdowns, 139 picks. 26 fourth quarter comebacks, 28 game-winning drives. Just an all-around great quarterback, cerebral, right? When you think of guys who didn't crack under pressure, Joe Montana comes to mind. He's the initial GOAT. For those who grew up in that generation, right, he's the GOAT. Other cats that come behind him, they're just copycats. We're just calling them GOATs. But really, a lot of guys, not to me, because you guys already know my guy, but to a lot of folks, San Francisco, number 16, Joe Montana is your GOAT. Not just the GOAT number 16, but the GOAT quarterback all time. Smart quarterback, not wild, flashy plays, even though he could make those, but for the most part, he just diced you and cut you up. And then when the time came, he won a damn ball game, and he was lifting the Super Bowl trophy. So shout out to Joe Montana, one of the very best number 16s ever, and possibly the GOAT quarterback ever. Shout out to Joe. Probably a kind of forgotten quarterback of the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm going to call out here is Jake the Snake Plummer. Now, a lot of people aren't going to consider this guy good or great or even good, right? But it is what it is. Jake Plummer played 10 years in the league with Arizona and Denver. He played for some bad teams in Arizona. I think the first couple of years he was sacked, like probably league leading or close to league leading in sacks. Just terrible teams. He was more of a scrambler than a passer. I remember him at Arizona State, and then when he got drafted. Crazy thing about Jake Plummer, right? He's the definition of a mid quarterback. But he ended his career with 29,000 passing yards, 161 touchdowns passing, and 161 picks. I've never seen that stat line. Usually end up with more touchdowns or more INTs. He ended up tied, 161 and 161. But he did have 1,800 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns, and that's what I remember him as. He scrambled quite a bit, and he was a good scrambler. Jake the Snake did make the Pro Bowl one time in 2005, where he threw 3,366 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 7 picks. Again, think about it. Are you making a Pro Bowl today with that stat line? Probably not. Check this out. This is what I mean by you need to be on a good team, good coaches, good players, right? To highlight your talents and to help you stand out. In Arizona, the man had a record of 30 and 52 as a starter. In Denver, he had a record of 39 and 15 as a starter. What I tell you, it's about where you are, your environment, okay? Some guys, they're going to put up numbers regardless, but they're not going to win. Some guys, they're not going to win, and their number is going to look bad. Jake Plummer was one of them. His number looked awful, and he wasn't winning because his environment wasn't right. But as soon as he gets to Denver, somehow he starts winning. What could it be? Anyway, shout out to Jake the Snake. I just remember him, and I wanted to call him out because I do remember that number 16, him running around in that Arizona white jersey and those, maroon pants they used to have on. But he was like one of the lone 16s that was actually producing in the league. Probably until one Jared Goff came on the scene with the Rams. And Jared Goff started slowly as well with bad coaching. And then he took off as soon as McVay came in. Again, funny how that works. Led him to a Super Bowl. He got scapegoated because everybody blamed him for losing. But he's put up some nice stats and had some great years. And recently with Detroit, he's put up some really nice seasons. But 7 years total in the league. 25,854 yards, 155 touchdowns, only 70 interceptions, 10 rushing touchdowns for his career. Again, that Super Bowl appearance. 3 times he's thrown for 4,000 yards already. People sleep on Jared Goff's arm. He has one of the strongest arms in the league. 3 times Pro Bowler. I don't know if you can win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. I'm not going to put a coffin in his career either and say you can't win with him. People say that, right? You can't win with this guy and that guy. I don't know. All I know is when you're on a great team, you look better. When you're on a bad team, you don't look as good. Okay? And people are going to blame him totally for Rams not being able to win a Super Bowl. I don't know. Matt Stafford had a terrible record coming to the Rams. All of a sudden, he wins a Super Bowl. Is he that good, or was the team great? Who knows? That's all I'm going to say there. But shout out to Jared Goff for being one of the great number 16s and still playing today and carrying that torch of great number 16s. But the guy who has a chance, I don't know if he'll catch Joe Montana in Super Bowls, but definitely in numbers and in terms of people's memories, is number 1 overall draft pick from a couple years ago, Trevor Lawrence. 2 years in the league only. 7,754 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 25 picks, 7 rushing touchdowns. Most of those picks came his rookie year when he was playing under Urban Meyer. Again, bad coaching, bad stats, bad outcomes. Good coaching, pretty good outcome. And now people think Trevor Lawrence is the next it. He's up next, this and that. Listen, I've been like Trevor Lawrence. I've said it before in the podcast. I remember watching Trevor Lawrence's first game. I watched him play at Clemson. I was like, damn, who's this dude? His arm strength was ridiculous. His running ability was crazy. I was like, this guy's definitely going to be the number 1 overall draft pick whenever he comes out. And sure enough, he came out and he's the number 1 overall draft pick. He was like that since college. People say he was like that in high school. I don't follow high school football like that, but I do know he played in high school not too far from me. And, he's carried it to college. He's carried it, now into the NFL now that he has a good team and good coaching around him. 1-time Pro Bowler, 4 career comebacks, 4 career game-winning drives. I think Trevor Lawrence, the sky's the limit for this guy's talent, man. Like, there's nothing on the football field he can't do. I just want to see how it turns out, man, because he has a chance to be super, super special, a cannon of an arm. He can run by dudes. I mean, he's as gifted of a quarterback as we have in the NFL right now. So, shout out to Trevor Lawrence for being the torchbearer of the number 16. Can't wait to see what this dude's career ends up being like, because I think he has a chance to be really, really Really, really special in the league. Last number 16, we got to switch positions. Short, little, quick, fast guy. Tyler Lockett, Seattle Seahawks. Now getting thrown to by Geno Smith. Played with Russ all those years. Can't believe it's been 8 years already. But he's a baller. Flat out stud. He can run around you. He can juke you. He's just an all-around receiver, man. Short, intermediate, deep passes. He got you. Smart receiver. He's had 2 double-digit touchdown seasons. People don't know that, right? People sleep on this cat. Underrated. 2 double-digit touchdown seasons. 1-time All-Pro. I didn't know that. Even I didn't know that. 1-time All-Pro and 1-time Pro Bowler. Just a flat-out baller. He's not going to put up, crazy stats and crazy highlight plays. He just makes plays. Game-winning plays. And catches the ball when it's thrown to him. That's all you can ask from a receiver. But one of the best number 16s in the league right now. And if he keeps going, he's going to put up some serious stats. And we're going to be looking back and say, damn, Tyler Lockett had a really, really good career in the NFL. So shout out to Tyler Lockett, one of the best number 16s in the league currently. All right, y'all. That's it. 5 guys. 5 guys. Not the sub spot. But seriously, 5 guys. Joe Montana's obviously the GOAT 16, right? And some will say the GOAT QB, and some will say the GOAT NFL player. But he's the GOAT right now, the best number 16. Jared Goff's going to put up some stats for sure. And we know Trevor Lawrence is coming. So give it a few years, and we might have to revisit this and see who actually is the best number 16 in the NFL history. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave it there. Short and quick. Appreciate y'all watching this one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, as always, comment. Let me know your thoughts. And we'll catch you next time. Number 15. That'll be fun. Peace.